All right. Hope for this. All right. I'm live. I don't know. My screen blanking out, man. Hope this don't do this the whole time. Let's see. Get all these chats up here. All right. There we go. Turn this off. O.M.C, what up? I got the live up on my other phone too, so it's like it look funny as hell. It's like a delay every time I say something, then it said on this side. It's like a little miniature time travel. Hopefully I sent um I used the go live with another person. I sent one to Queen Lotus because I know she wanted to pop on the last time I was live, so I sent her the link. So hopefully she'll be able to pop on and join me on this here subject matter, similar to the last live I had, just more of it. Yeah, I got the sound off on the other one. Okay, here she go right here. Boom. Add.
What's up, O.M.C?
Yo, what up, Queen?
I'm in here eating. I got my pajamas on, my bonnet. I'm
uh,
chilling.
yeah, I'm trying to chill. Oh no, I don't. Well, I don't do the upload from StreamYard on my phone because it act funny. So I tend to more so do it. Can y'all still hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, my screen.
KNC.
All right, where we at? 2 minutes 34. All right, y'all know what y'all gotta do. Wipe your feet off, shake your clothes off. I don't want no roaches in my house. Making sure y'all sitting on a good part of the couch. All right, man. All right, so we've been seeing it. Hamas, Israel, the propaganda. And then, we got the Boondocks predictions. They always talk about the Simpsons and their predictions. The Boondocks called a whole lot when it comes to the black community and hip hop and all that. And then, a little bit on this migrant crisis. I said, call it Plymouth Rock Part 2 because, that whole saying, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock landed on us. Well, you listen to these, how these people in these communities, they protesting in Chicago and all that. It's like, yeah, Plymouth Rock didn't let it the second time. They had another chunk and they've been waiting. And this
Mm-hmm.
is it.
Mm-hmm.
So first, let me see. What will I spend the less time on? All right, Boondocks. I've been seeing a lot of channels. They've been showing a lot of. I've been watching these episodes. Now I've seen most of them, except for maybe the fourth season. I've seen like the first three. And as I'm watching this, I'm looking at the Gangstalicious, the Thugnificent, the No
Right.
Snitching episode,
Right.
uh, the Katrinians. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What else? It's a lot of, of course they touched on the R. Kelly stuff and all that, the nigga moments, you know what I'm
You
saying? The stink
know what
cleaner.
episode got his show taken? What got the Boondocks canceled was when he talked about Tyler Perry.
Tyler, I never saw that episode. I didn't know that Tyler Perry made sure that episode didn't get showed again. I finally saw it, and now I know why he didn't want that up there.
Right. It was accurate as hell.
I was like, man, he went in deep on that.
Mm-hmm.
But, in the light of this case, the no snitching episode, I'm sitting there like, if nobody remember anything else, remember how, everybody like, no, they didn't snitching until they took the car. And then granddad was like, you better tell me. It's like, now when it's bothering you, you want somebody to snitch, huh? And then at the end, when they took Riley's bike, what was his last words? Thank you for not snitching, you stupid MF.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know? And so it's like, so what is that code? Who does that code really serve? Is it really serving anything but the guilty?
It's serving the guilty, and keep on perpetuating this culture of terrorism to the community.
For sure.
Then if you say something against it, it's a problem. Or they feel that if you was involved in the streets, then you shouldn't tell. I think they got that confused. If you was involved in a crime and you tell to get yourself out of being penalized for that crime, then you are considered a snitch. All this other shit that they talking, when people doing all this wicked shit to each other, it's a line that has to be drawn. You understand what I'm saying?
Functionally dysfunctional. Yeah.
It's a
You
line that has
know,
to be drawn, yeah?
it's like, they want to exist in a dysfunction, but and then sit around and talk about somebody got to do something about this, all this crime. Somebody need to do something. You don't want to help law enforcement. You don't want to do it yourself and go vigilante. So, but so a person can sound popular or not popular, sound like they down with it. Like, oh, this what black folks do, and I'm like, no, that's what ninjas do. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right,
That's
right.
why I love that no snitching episode on Boondocks. Everybody needs to watch that one again.
I don't
But
remember
yeah,
but Aaron Magruder, he knew the basic agenda because he was privy to it, and that's what he was releasing in some. Remember the one he did when Huey, not Huey, what's the other one name with the braids? I forgot his.
Riley.
Riley was walking around with a pocketbook and stuff like that, and wearing sandals, dressed feminine, everything.
Yeah,
And Huey was like, "What the hell is you doing? Y'all niggas is gay. You know what I'm saying?"
right, right.
So he was actually predicting and telling us about how they're gonna change the whole agenda to this femininity, because that was way before you started seeing men carrying purses and the rappers
Yes.
pocketbooks and all that. Yeah.
And my jaws dropped because it's like now that it's happening, going back and watching those episodes, he was right on point. He knew something. That's why they didn't want to keep that man. They didn't want to pay that man and shut him down. They took his show. Because I'm like,
Well,
man,
all of them know, but some of them choose to reveal things in clever ways, subliminally.
right.
But he wasn't as subliminal as he might have thought he was.
Hell no, delicious. And I mean, it's like, that episode Gangsta, who they had Most Def playing that, and then
Yeah,
when he did that
yeah.
party, when he's talking about when he got arrested on, I think he was on like a TV show or something like that, and he was
Hmm.
rapping about he had that tennis racket and that bottle of Hennessy, and he like, I did this and this and that. Then the police came and got him. Y'all was
Yeah,
just talking about self snitching.
yeah,
Ain't that like every other video we got?
yeah. In the Christmas episode where he was like, "Santa Claus, you gonna pay what you owe,"
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah,
So,
y'all just gonna let Santa get his ass kicked?
I love that. That's my favorite one where he was chasing down Santa Claus. Um,
Uh, But Stink Mina, you know what I'm saying? Like Stink Mina, and I like how they use like the Sanford and Son characters as his crew. They had Esther and Grady and Fred Sanford.
Bubba and Charlie Murphy was in there.
Bubba.
Charlie Murphy's voice in there was just great, and Tim Witherspoon's voice was in there. Like, if they was to do a new Boondocks, it would never be the same.
Nah, nah. They censoring him so much. He'll have so many executives over his shoulder. Just like in the episode when Huey was writing that Christmas play. Oh yeah, we found a few things in there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he tried to come back. They tried to bring the show back with other people overseeing it and in charge of the production and the episodes. That shit didn't even last for a week or two. Like, nobody wanted to see that.
I don't know why it didn't last, man. Let me see. So yeah, so that whole that personification of the nigga, that's why we smoke Newports. That's why we drink Hennessy. And it was like, we don't care about stink meter. We just needed an excuse to mess somebody's life up. If it wasn't him, it would have been somebody else. And I mean, is that not, a characterization of the black community? Like, well, I'm not gonna say that, not the whole black community, but
The
of those,
majority,
huh?
the majority, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that should be a wake up call, like for anybody that wants to glorify sounding street, or and I say if you're gonna be street, then be street. You know what I'm saying? There's a different set of rules for you. No, you shouldn't be on the internet. No, you shouldn't be snitching. Y'all doing crime. I'm talking about everybody else like myself and you that live outside that purview. Open your damn mouth. You know, you don't live by them rules. You know what I'm saying?
I
Not
don't know
anymore,
how
anyway. You know what I'm saying?
now because it's like if you don't go along with the majority, you're an outcast.
There
And
we
then
go, right there.
stuck by yourself with these feelings like that ain't right. This ain't right. What the fuck are y'all talking about? But it's not much that you could do or say about it. That's just the way it is. I'm basically a loner now because of that. I shut my
I've always been kind of a loner,
mm-hmm,
but you just hit on something right there, Queen. When you said they just stuck with those feelings,
mm-hmm,
but be the main ones talking about keeping it real. We real niggas, but really not expressing what they really feeling because they want to be part of the majority, afraid to stand on their own. So who's really real and who's really fake? You know? And I think about like uh like like just back in the 90s, just how people dress. You know, I go to school, everybody got the same Jordans, everybody got the same jeans.
mm-hmm,
And I'm like, do y'all think y'all standing out? That's why when we was joking about them K Swiss, I had a pair of K Swiss, some new ones that came out back then. I had more attention on me, and this was when them black pad leather Jordans had came out when Spike Lee had them on at the playoff game, and then everybody went and got them. I went and got me a pair of all white K Swiss, and more people was on those than the Jordans. Why? Because everybody had the Jordans. You know,
mm-hmm. K Swiss used to be the bomb though.
shout out Trenches News. What
Sweat
up, man?
them damn K Swiss used to they was nice and neat. You know what I'm saying? You throw on your little outfit, neat little sneakers.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all did in New York, but
Y'all call them shoes. We call them sneakers.
yeah, I can't fix my mouth to say sneakers, man. Like I call house shoes. You know what I'm saying? People call them slides, and I'm like slides. I'm like, oh, you just slide your feet on, but I can't. I'm just getting used to calling them slides. I still call them house shoes. You
I
know,
call them slippers. Goddamn it, they slippers.
slippers. See, slippers sound feminine. I can't call them slippers now. Like when I think of slides, I think like them joints they be wearing in them county jails when they hit slides. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like house shoes. Uh, uh, no, what's them joints they be wearing? Like old dog
Flip
was wearing on
flops.
Ministry Society.
Flip flops.
Nah, yeah, flip flops, but flip flops sound feminine too. But no, I'm talking about they weren't flip flops. They cover they fit like a regular shoe, but they was house shoes. Old dog was wearing them in Minister Society with them khakis.
Mm-hmm.
Them, I got a pair of those at home. I can't find. I miss one. I'm missing one, but yeah, man, that got me. So yeah, that was Boondocks, man. This Boondocks predictions, man. And then the rap beef thing with Thug Nipsey and Granddad. You know what I'm saying? What they do?
AC
Go on
said, "Kick
YouTube, put
it."
up a video, rap beef, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing, and I'm like, this dude he knew, yeah, he knew the agenda, and he was trying to
Well,
tell
that's
people,
what I was gonna try to highlight because I want to do a video about what started the beef between the East Coast and the West Coast, like how it led up to it, and how Vibe magazine played the part that social media plays now. They were
yeah,
the ones that was putting those East Coast West Coast headlines on the magazines, and that's how we got information then through the magazines because we didn't have the internet. So
right, right.
I remember the Vibe covers and the Rolling Stone interviews and all of that, and I'm gonna put it all together as a compilation because I want to show the kids how they use use these media outlets and these broadcasting things and these magazines and all that stuff. Now social media to exacerbate beef between the rappers. Like they knew that they. Why am I hearing myself?
And see, I ain't never called them kicks before.
You got the YouTube on?
What's up?
You got YouTube on your thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, you do have it because you gotta have it on.
Wait, hold on. What you talking about? What you mean?
Because I'm echoing, I can hear myself after I say something.
Cause I got two phones going. I'm watching it on one, so I got it close to me, and then the other one that I'm actually going like the actual live is on is sitting up. You know.
Well, the one you watching, you got it on pause so you can watch it. You watching the chat, right?
Right.
Pause it. Pause the one where you watching the chat.
Okay.
But they knew that they couldn't infiltrate rap music and hip hop without somehow invading it. Now, if you look at hip hop right now, you gotta always go to a white person to get your money or to do what you need to do. You always gotta go it's guys, not even a white person, but people that didn't have nothing to do with hip hop. Empire, you got Ghazi. You go over here, you got Steve. This one, you got Lyle Cohen. You got these people don't have nothing to do with hip hop, but they are the ones that people have to go to in order to make it in this business.
Right. The gatekeepers.
And it's looking like that even with social media. Like everybody's going to Adam 22 now and DJ Vlad. Those are the big platforms. They don't have nothing to do with our culture. Y'all just visitors in this culture. We can't go in their stuff and just take over their stuff like that.
Nah. And I mean, like, they just sitting there. People are flying out to them. You know what I'm saying? Going in their studio. You know, DJU get just as much love. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. That's one thing I can say. It's not even now. Adam, he got more money to throw around. Obviously, we know why. You know what I'm saying? I heard he come from a different kind of pedigree. You know what I'm saying? Might just went off the reservation, but he was already had money. You know what I'm saying? He ain't getting it from the mud like that. But and I don't blame anybody. It's like, hey, you're gonna tell your story, but control how that story is told when you're up in that studio. If it's like, don't shuck and jive on there if you like, you with Vlad or somebody, because I hear, Vlad, he talking about Keith D, and he like, I'm taking credit for this. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking credit for that, for cracking this open.
He was talking way before he got on Vlad's platform. He was on what's that other platform they be talking about popping big all the time? In damn, I forgot his doggone the name of his
Sam
platform.
Capone.
No, not Cam Capone. The Art of Dialogue. The Art of Dialogue. He been
Oh
up
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
He was up on Reggie Wright Jr. his channel Bomb First. He was up there. Like he been talking. He been saying things.
Right. But yeah, it's like that. And then, when they, if it's like, all they want to talk about is the garbage, it's like, yo, let's talk about this music. You know what I'm saying? It's like control that conversation. You know what I mean? Because they gonna ask about the BS. They all on the board. They like, oh yeah, I want to hear that. Tell me about this or talk about this person. They want to. He try to lead you into talking about somebody, and that's all it's gonna do is keep up more drama. And it's like
And
it's less about the music.
Vlad call himself DJ Vlad, but I ain't never hear him talking about music or nothing.
Where's the D? Yeah, yeah. Where's the damn? The DJ part come from? Oh man,
I remember
that
seeing his mixtapes back in the days, like in the 90s, early 2000s. I remember seeing his mixtapes, but he don't
oh
talk
okay,
music and stuff like that. All he talk about is who's killing who got beef with who. Like he turned into one of those type of people.
right. And let me see one more Boondocks prediction. Think it was that R. Kelly episode, and it was showing just how accepting of the girl they had on the stand. If I didn't want to get peed on, I just move out the way. The ratchetness is what I'm getting at. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the ratchetness, how they had a lot of little side characters and stuff. And I didn't know that booty warrior dude really existed
Yeah,
until
he's
I
a
saw.
real person. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And I seen some video where he was saying, he can't get a job and all because of what Boondocks did. I'm like, well, I don't think it was Boondocks' fault, but
It
he was
was
on
him and
scared
his
straight,
nasty, dirty mouth.
right? And I'm like, okay, so did you really not take no booty and you was just doing that for the cameras, doing it for the show to scare the kids? Because either way, people gonna believe you. Why? Because
Did you ever listen to any of his interviews?
I listened to some. Well, I didn't. I heard excerpts from it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that he was quoted as saying, because the video that I watched, it was talking about, it was him, talking about how, since he been out, he can't live a regular life because that's going to always be held against him, the whole booty warrior title. But then I hear him on there and he like, oh yeah, that's the most important thing. I mean, they was direct quotes from this, like on the show. So I'm like, bro, you did that to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And like, if you was just doing it for the
Everybody
cameras,
expose themselves on the internet and then get mad when people start talking about them. Like, watch what you're saying and watch what you're doing.
yeah. And it's like maybe he thought he wasn't gonna never get out one day. Maybe that's why he just kind of went, balls to the wall with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's a good lesson. People had that thought like, well, ain't nobody gonna live, when, like you tell people, hey man, don't spend up all your money. Well, I can't take it with me. But yeah, you might not die when you think you will. You're gonna wish you kept some of that money, you know. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
leave that up to the creator, you know what I'm saying? He got that date already set. Don't worry about it. That's already taken care of. You take care of the rest, you know. Ah,
I don't
all
know.
right.
Even cliches. I don't even like cliches because I think we be putting curses on ourselves by keep on saying things like the good die young and all of that. Like we shouldn't
Oh
be saying
yeah.
like that because you actually speaking that into existence.
Yeah, I don't like saying anything like that. I don't like swearing nothing on nobody's name, you know, and I got that, you know, just from like when I first started reading the Bible and stuff, and I saw that in there when it said you can't turn one person's hair on their head gray or back to black, you know what I'm saying? So don't swear on nobody's head, you know what I'm saying? On
Mm-hmm.
my kids or none of that, you know what I'm saying? It's like
Mm-hmm.
that you just don't do it, you know? Can't do that. All right. I think we fed the Boondocks thing. But anybody that sees this, please watch it if you haven't seen it before. And I'm gonna sound like Joe Biden. If you ain't seen Boondocks at least once, you ain't black. Nah.
That was my favorite show. I used to have every episode, but I got rid of my DVDs. I shouldn't have got rid of my damn Boondocks episodes though. I was
Ah man.
all that bulk, but I had every doggone episode of that damn Boondocks. I didn't even get to watch all of them.
It's all over YouTube now. All you got I mean, it's so many channels. Sparks, what up, man?
What's up,
Uh
Spark?
it's all over YouTube. So many channels just going live and playing episodes. Some of them like they changed the theme song, you know, so somebody played Miley Cyrus for the theme song and all kinds of crazy stuff, man. And I'm
I
just
love
like,
the
oh,
Boondocks. I
oh, that's
love it.
the one. When Stinkmeaner came back and possessed old boy Tom, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
Ghostface was on there, what'd he
Mm-hmm.
say? Peace. You know what I'm saying? When he went and seen him, he was like, peace. You know, and then they started talking, getting along, and I'm like, come on, there you go right there. And I just thought about that because I just saw a short with, Dale had put up when he had all these dudes from different neighborhoods in the same room. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I remember a long time ago, like last winter, and we was on a live and we was just throwing out ideas, and it was just like, yeah, I remember saying like, man, try to get these people in the room or central ground, have security or anything like that. And I was like, have the families of the victims and all that, but I was so happy to see that. And I know that's getting pushed down to the bottom, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
I
they're
mean,
trying
the algorithm,
to the
because I'm
bottom.
like, yo, that's real peace stuff right there, and that do need to get shown more and shared and all that, that's
Yeah,
commendable
they're
as hell.
trying to push it to the bottom, but I gotta say to the audience, I gotta say about the audience that they really surprised me how they was really like the people that really wanted peace started popping up now in this, in the audience listening to this and trying to help to push the peace more than it was negativity. So there is a air or element of people wanting stuff to change. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's always been there. It's just a matter of everybody was waiting for somebody else to start,
Right, right,
you
right,
know?
right.
And a lot of people don't necessarily have the connections and the resources. They just got the idea, you know. And once somebody else started, yeah, people will, definitely lend their ear and their voice to it, or their viewership, or sharing it and things like that. It could start at just that simple. You know what I mean? No, it
Hmm.
ain't gonna be 100% peace all the time. You know what I'm saying? But to get that far, hearing those blocks that all these people was from, and I'm like, man, in 2012, that wouldn't, you ain't what? Are you serious? Nah, you ain't never gonna get them in the same room. And so that shows it can happen. It will happen. More of it. Um, a lot of what's going on with this trial and stuff coming up is definitely gonna blow a lot wide open. A lot of kids now they starting to see, look, everything ain't what it seemed like on these music videos. When the camera's not rolling, everybody just regular folks, and they was kids. You know what I'm saying? And now they,
That
the
was a
rest of their life gone.
fantasy. That was a fantasy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That was
it's over.
definitely a fantasy, and the kids thought that shit was real, and they still up there trying to perpetuate that same image, knowing that I know deep within them they know them boys is going to jail. Like you can't think that they're gonna escape, get out of this.
If yeah, not and I don't know how sloppy they but this the feds though. I forgot this the feds. Ain't no getting off on a technicality or somebody did something. No, they want this. They hungry for this one. It's like if and for them, they don't care about the black community. They don't care about that. They just trying to say, hey, look, you ninjas, keep that over in y'all ghettos. You don't bring that to our part of town in the Gold Coast. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's that's what it's really about. You know what I'm saying? It's like because of where it got done. Had it happened on around on Eberhard somewhere, you know, we wouldn't be where we are.
But
And
it seemed like it was written though. When I looked at the numbers and I looked at everything surrounding what happened, it looks like it was written and it was meant to be that way. Unfortunately, that was the role that Duck played. Was by him being taken out like that, where he got taken out, how he got taken out, that was a message of change. That was a
yeah,
catalyst. That was a catalyst for change right there, unfortunately.
it and they say they all rules are written in blood. Hey, what up, Kenny? Kenny Rogers.
Hey, and see, I can't see y'all comments. It pops up real late. Hmm.
Yeah, I got my other phone down here, so I see the comments popping up because the actual phone I'm recording on or that I'm broadcasting on the screen it's like it's cutting out, so I can't even see
Hmm.
myself on that one.
Hmm.
So as long as I can see the comments on this one, I don't care if this one on pause. Uh, but shout out to Kenny Rogers, man. Hey, Kenny be doing his
But
thing with that. Hey, Kenny, man, you got a hell of work ethic, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like if you get up in some like I know you be using Band Lab, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just did free promotion for Band Lab, but send me a check, Band Lab. Uh man, your work ethic is like through the roof, bro. You be cranking them songs out, bro. And like I can't understand all the time, but sometimes I catch, the lyrics and all that, and you on something, man. You know what I'm saying? You
he is,
definitely
and
on
he got
something.
his own style too. He not copying off of nobody. He got his own style.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's Boondocks. All right. Now, Plymouth Rock Part 2. You know, I remember, and before I want to start this off because when I was on I ain't gonna say that out loud because that's a different platform. I ain't gonna say it on here, but where I was them pictures I shared in the chat or whatever, you know, I get that from a different social
Hey,
media
Lexi.
site.
Mm-hmm.
Who just popped on?
Hey,
Oh,
Dro.
Lexi, what's going on? Dro, what up? Sexy Lexi. Join the live. Share the live. I it was a quote and it was I think it was an old British Prime Minister or something like that. And he was saying that, we need to and he was say he wore
Hey,
one of them
Chicken.
yarmulkes. All
Mm-hmm.
right. He was one of them. All right. And it had a quote saying that we need to rid Britain and of Europe of the white races and fill it with Eurasian Negroids because they are more controllable.
Mm.
Now, and you put stuff like that up now, you get fact checked real quick. So, you know, I think about that, and so I think about the whole migrant crisis over in Europe. I've said it. You might have heard me say it before. That was a beta test. It's coming to America next. Who is it? Eurasian Negroids mostly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they let them in the droves, and it changed the landscape of Europe. And now we got it here. So maybe that quote is dead on, you know. And,
It's something that they see anything that they want to do, right? They will present it to us in a sneaky way. It
mhm,
doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, but they are trying to test the waters to see. They have to anything they want to do. They have to ask our permission first. This is the whole purpose of movies, entertainment, even the news. Okay, it's a
mhm,
camouflage for them actually asking permission from the original custodians of this planet. We are the original custodians of this planet. We represent God here. But
yes,
once we give the okay for things, like we give the okay for us to kill each other, we give the okay for people to use our talents and make money off of it. We give the okay for all of this. This is something that we co-sign. So if we just watch that and not be outraged or sleep on it, they're trying to measure the population to see how they're gonna react to something like that. Put it like that.
Well, they getting their result. But before I go further, happy birthday, Kenny.
Happy birthday,
Welcome
Kenny.
and welcome, Sharpshooter Judah. He just popped in.
Hey Judah.
But all right. So all right, all right. That so we got that. Oh, that's the it was that quote. I think it was Rockefeller. It was said either by conquest or by consent we will have world government. And just like you said, gave permission. How did we get permission? Well, it was already getting worked up. Now I'm gonna go back to Trump's entire his administration, especially 2019, 2020, George Floyd rights and all that. That was the perfect time because they had already riled up, the black race and the black and brown, they used slavery, racism. They had all the Democrats kneeling with kente cloth shirts on in the Capitol. I'm like, what the hell? What do y'all know about kente cloth? What do y'all care? You know what I'm saying? So they were doing all this stuff. And, you had BLM, they were in the forefront. And you had the high profile killings. You had the Breonna Taylor, Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, which happened earlier, but he was thrown in there, and of course George Floyd, which was the most recent. And everybody was just a one accord. Yeah, it is that. So it taking down the monuments, all the southern monuments, and burning up police stations, completely changed the landscape of the cities. Police forces damn near quitting in droves. They created chaos, and it was all orchestrated. All right. In the meantime, they was making a good buck selling T-shirts and everything. Very capitalist of you. All these movements, hey,
Hmm.
good job, guys. Y'all made a hell of a. I wasn't finna pay no $25 for a Black Lives Matter T-shirt. Y'all supposed to be socialists. Y'all supposed to be giving it away. But anyway, um,
First
and
of
then
all,
of
look
course,
at his slogan after that happened with the guy that got choked out because he was selling cigarettes here in New York. The slogan was "I can't breathe." There's
I
no way
can't
in
breathe.
hell that we should be running around saying "I can't breathe." That's being submissive. That's actually being submissive. But since we don't understand the importance of the words that we speak into the universe, we can be tricked and fooled to manifest things that they want to happen. You understand?
Yeah, hands up, don't shoot. They just became bumper stickers and slogans to yell at protests, basically. You know, and well, where I'm getting to is when it comes to the migrant thing, because now everything's racist now, right? That word got so watered down. So as conservatives and then moderate Democrats and everything that's looking at this and saying, look, we do not have the room. We do not have the resources. Okay. When they see these people stuck at the border, which I know they were told on their local radios in South America, they were told to come on through and you're going to get this much money. You know why I know that? Because that's the same thing they did in Europe. When they were getting interviewed, they said we were told that there was going to be money and this and that. I don't want to work. I want money and I want to smoke cigarettes, in their broken English. That's how they were talking. They came there to and that's where the Boondocks part come in with the Katrinians. You see the connection I'm making now? They was
Mm-hmm.
ungrateful as hell. Ungrateful as hell on Boondocks with them Katrinians, ungrateful as hell in Europe, and now I learned that they ungrateful as hell here in the United States. In New York, they throwing away food that's given to them. They just taking whatever they want, and luckily it's not as bad, but it's not as bad in Europe. So you don't hear about the mass rapes and stuff yet. That's a big yet. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't. It may or may not happen. I don't know.
That's a
Hopefully it don't.
plan to shut down the middle class. Because now the people that was working hard and filling certain slots and was able to survive some type of way, they bring all these people over here during a time of crisis where inflation is up, salaries are the same. You know what I'm saying? All the property
Yeah.
is high as hell. And you're gonna bring these people to take the jobs and take the budgets that's helping people to use to cater to these people that ain't even from this country at all. But you won't help the people here that already need help. But that's a
Uh oh.
plan.
You sounding racist, Queen. Remember that?
No, it's not
Remember that?
racism. It's actually facts and it's the truth.
Yes. Yes. I was saying that because that's the lie that they sold to everybody. They sold it to black and brown. You know what I'm saying? Everything's racist. They don't want them to come in because they're racist. This and that, racist. They didn't think that, oh, you thought they was going to be taking the resources from the rich folks? No, they going to take them from you. Plymouth Rock landed on your ass again. That's where I was
I
getting
mean,
at.
I've never had this hard of a time in my life. I always had something that I could keep extra money in my pocket in case this go wrong. I have this plan or that plan. It's not like that no more. Like they've taken all the extra things that people could do to offset their budgets and shit, and they're giving it to these people, or they're taking away the option. Just like the car services, right? In New York, you had a bunch
Yeah.
of black-owned car services. Now they came with Lyft and Uber, and those car services is no longer available
Mm-hmm.
because they replaced it with Uber and Lyft.
That's just that that's just evolution, and I don't know much about like these medallions. They talk about they like $200,000. I don't get what do they mean with
Right,
these
right. In
medallions.
New York, they had those medallions, and those yellow cab drivers bought those medallions for some of them $1 million or $500,000, and they ain't even no good no more like they used to be because now you got Uber and Lyft and all these other things.
So basically it democratized, what I'm saying, the market, and it made it
Yeah,
good for
every
everybody to get
time
a piece,
black people find a way to like keep themselves comfortable and to live, right? And
right?
they have a plan and they work towards that plan and they finally accomplish what they wanted to do. They take it away or shut it down or weaken it some type of way. Then you got to go back to square one again. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's just like when we wage war. It resets the board. It destroys all the surplus money that should be going to the country, to the people, and it gets burnt up basically. You know what
Mm.
I mean? Same purpose. So we get, where was I? Okay, I didn't want to lose track. So they played the racist thing. So you got the same people, the people out there now, they're saying, let them in. You got AOC down there crying at the gate, with us for her photo opportunity, her stage little crying photo. Oh my God, they put them in cages and all this stuff, which we found out wasn't true. You know what I mean? Uh, you know, and when Trump says something like, we're letting murderers in and rapists and stuff. Oh, he's so racist. Guess what they let in? They're jumping people now, from what I hear. People have been raped. People have been assaulted. I seen some article in New York. Some dude, whacked off in this woman's face while she was asleep on the train.
Yeah, they doing all kinds of crazy shit on the train.
You know, um, shout out Joe. I appreciate that. Come up with some names. No, um,
I didn't even know that. I didn't even hear about that, NC. That's disgusting. I mean, I said NC because I'm always talking to NC. I didn't even hear about that O.M.C. about the jacking off in the lady face thing. I didn't even hear about that.
yeah. And so this is what's going on. They're in these hotels. The workers in the hotels, they quitting. They don't want the jobs. They just like, give me some. We was promised this. Give it to me. You know. They can go on people's property and people can't tell them to get off. So it's like, hey, y'all better get them licenses, even if you don't have it. Get them off of that. Then you know what? Purge. Then you know what I'm saying. I'm getting that frustrated with it because. But then I also say, you know what? You should have listened, or thought with your own damn mind instead of buying into the whole propaganda. Because anytime you see, and I don't want, anytime you see the wealthy seem like they care too much about what the poor doing, it's a plan behind it, and it ain't for the best interest of the poor or the working class. I
Mhm.
don't see the poor, the working class. You know what I'm saying? Us
Mhm.
folks, us working stiffs. All right. So now, fast forward 2023. You got the same people that was screaming Black Lives Matter, let them in, no more, wall. Now they saying build the wall. Now they saying we don't have the room, we don't have the resources.
What did
Oh, it's
Trump
not
do?
racist
What
no more.
did Trump do when Trump went in office? The first thing that he did was what? He shut the
It's not.
borders,
Shut it down.
and they was carrying on about him shutting down them borders. But he knew what he was doing. Then, as soon as he was out of office and Biden got in, what's the first thing Biden did? He opened the
Took it
goddamn.
down,
Yeah.
and he sold the steel. He sold the steel off to make sure it didn't get built. And now what is he doing? Oh, he wants to build the wall. Hey, shout out to Kane Shantz 222. um, man, the full circle, and it's so hard for me because it's such a bad situation. I can't gloat like I want to and say nah nanny nah nah, because it's disgusting because it's affecting too many people. And I see these people in the town hall in Chicago, and they like, yo, you gonna take the money that was meant for us? You gonna give them the schools that y'all shut down and put our kids out? Shout out porn star Jr.
Hey, they are. That's what they wanted to do in the first place. That was the plan.
Yes, and putting poor people against other poor people,
That was
and like I said, I'm not blaming the migrants. They doing what they was invited. They looking for a better life, but don't come over here and be ungrateful either. You know what I'm saying?
shooting your nose up at us. We was born here. This is our country. We from here. We was born here. You ain't from here.
Now, does America first sound racist anymore?
Hmm. And who
That's
you
what
think
we
they're gonna
that's what
attack?
we meant when we said
Who you think?
America first.
Who you think they're gonna attack? They're gonna attack us because
Yeah,
we
they
the
put them
ones
right
that
with
get.
us.
Now the scraps ain't only going to the black people now. Now the scraps is going to every goddamn body. Now what we go? Well, now what black people gonna have? Every
Yes.
time we try to make up something for ourselves so we can make money, they come in and take it over and fuck it up.
So my thing is this: there's only because even if Trump get in office, he ain't gonna be able to get. He talk, but he can't deport all these people now, bro. You ain't gonna catch him. You know what I'm saying? But you got
He'll
Mayor
try.
Adams, you got Brandon.
He'll try.
He could try. I'm pretty
He
sure he's
was
gonna get a
doing.
lot.
Remember when he got it? He was shutting everybody, sending them right back the fuck home. Remember when he first? That's what the first thing he was doing.
Yeah. And see, he was messing up the plan. This is what, when Trump said I was in the way, it's y'all that I'm really after. This is what he was talking about. Now that they got him out the way, this is what's happening. If Hillary would have won, we would have been here already. You know what I'm saying? Way back then. And we
And
would
he
have been
said they
really.
trying to make black people turn into slaves again. That's what he said. He said if y'all don't be careful, they're gonna make y'all slaves again.
Yes. So please stop voting Democrat just because you black. All right. Please educate yourselves on who y'all voting for. Just because they black don't mean they on your side. If you heard the way Brandon Johnson gaslit these people when he said you don't want what these migrants want, sleeping on the floor and all this stuff. No, you taking the money that's meant for them and giving them tents. They like, damn, you wouldn't build FEMA tents for our own homeless vets and all that. Veteran or not.
Listen, they giving them $2,000 a month. They won't even give senior citizens $2,000 a month for their social security.
Uh, I mean, when COVID, the little COVID money, what I'm saying, they did that. Do you know that when they actually had enough to make every single American a millionaire? Why not just do that? But now when these migrants come over, yeah, they just open it up, boy. Where's this money coming from? Ukraine. Now of course he's gonna be over there in the Middle East and all this. How much more of a slap in the face do people really need to realize that? And this is where the solution comes in at. I'm not gonna complain without a solution. The solution is what we always say: it's more of us than them. If we can somehow not let them turn us against each other and unify. Just
Listen,
like
that
I make the
that
Boondocks
is
connection.
ever
Peace.
gonna happen because we too stuck in our ways. We too competitive with each other. We like to get rich just to stun on each other, knowing that we're in a system that's not intended for us to be successful at all. Instead of celebrating and helping each other out, we be
Right.
going at each other. So, I mean, at some point, we got to wise up and see what the fuck is going on and move different too. We can't just
Yeah.
keep blaming everything on everybody else. They
There you
doing what
go.
they feel they supposed to do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
That's how they feel. That's how they feel. That's the only way they gonna survive. When we gonna get to that point?
And man, and you notice they always do this. And this remind me of that biblical verse when it said, woe unto them if for those who have children, and it's like in these cold months or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but it always happens around this time when it's gonna start getting cold, when
Because
people
I
really
told
start
you this
suffering.
is their time. The ice represents them. The sun represents us. The cold represents them. Listen, they tell us that hell is hot, right? I don't believe that. Their hell is hot, not ours.
In that show Supernatural, in the fifth season, the character who played Lucifer said the same thing. He was in Detroit, and he was just kind of blowing his breath on the glass, and he was like, most people think hell is hot, but actually it's quite cold. He was just making a
It's
little.
because it's true. That's why we live under the just ice system. Justice is spelled just ice. They
Mm,
hire the police to protect the just ice system, which is spelled police. When you go into the armed forces, it's called the service, serve ice. The
wow,
immigration police is called ICE.
wow,
And when you recognize things and you have open eyes and you're able to decipher things, they say that you notice it. And how is notice spelled? OMC, not
no to ice.
ice.
Wow, that's a. Oh wait, hold on. I can't wait. What am
The police that protect the just ice system, they are called officers. Okay,
Wow,
this is the land of the people of the cold. They make the winter longer. They turn and they make it an hour up when it's cold. But as soon as summertime comes, they want us to turn the clock down an hour. So the summer is gone before we know it.
Kane
They
Shan
tell
said the
us that
devil
the
always
new
been a
year.
cold MF.
They listen. They tell us the new year starts in the cold months. But that's when everything is dead. How the fuck is that the new year? When
For
everything
sure.
dies.
Yeah.
The new year is in the spring when everything comes back to life. But they got us
Right.
on their frequency. Where is Santa Claus at? Santa Claus lives in the cold, yo.
Ha.
Santa's Claus. What does he tell you? He tell you, you better not shout, you better not cry, you better not something. I'm
Yup.
telling you why.
Telling you, man.
He knows when you are sleeping. He knows when you're awake. So because
Yeah.
you better not shout, you better not cry, you better stay in this ice motherfucker shit we got y'all in and don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Know
You
when
better
you're
take
awake.
whatever we give it to you. You
Yep,
better
we
let
know when
these
you're
people
awake.
in.
We know when you're awake and we know when you're asleep.
Surveillance state. Wait, ain't ICE in surveillance? No, no, it's not. Okay, never mind.
Meaning we know when your third eye is closed and we know when your third eye is open.
And and every time it's opening, we get a shakeup, just like we got now.
And they make you celebrate these holidays because you don't want to be the bad guy to your children and everybody in the world is celebrating Christmas and you ain't. So they force you to celebrate these pagan holidays with them because they need our energy. Or it's nothing.
Hmm.
That their rituals they do on those days, on those holidays, would be nothing.
And some rituals coming this month.
Listen, from it starts October. It starts October going into February. October, November, December, January, February. Those are their months, boy. That's when they get it in on our asses.
Yeah, and other lore, this is when Persephone goes to the underworld, as part of her deal with Hades, spend her time in Hades, and so when she goes down, it gets cold, and then she come back and spread that whole thing.
Yeah,
It
you ever
all
watch a
makes sense
scary
now.
movie? You ever watch a scary movie and they say when the demons come in, it's cold in the house? You see the
Yeah,
Exorcist when it was cold, it was freezing. So why are you telling me that hell is hot then?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I guess when people think of anybody who's ever been burned before, you play that, it plays into your imagination. Imagine that for eternity. Oh my God, you're burning like crazy.
No, but
But
they put
however,
us. They tell us that things are dangerous for us, or things are the same way for us as it is for them, and it's not. Heat is their hell. The sun is their hell. It burns them. Why would
yeah,
God make a people that when you go out in the sun, it burns your skin, yo?
yeah,
And
and
I'm not
like our
saying
skin
I'm
is
not
surrender
saying
based.
that all white people are this way because they are not. It's not all white people that's this way.
No,
But you got to really think about this. Why would God make a people on the planet where when the sun gets hot, you get burned? Come on. Do that make
yeah,
sense?
it don't. And you know, I when it because I seen that it was I forgot who this lady was, but when she was breaking down how our skin is selenium based and theirs is sulfur based, and that's why they burn like that, you know, and it creates a different kind of odor too. You know what I'm saying? And
Well,
like you
is
said,
it
it's
of
not.
God then? Is it of God? Should you be here in this universe? That's why I said that this damn place is ours. Do we fucking get burned in the sun, yo?
No. And if you do, you gotta work at it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that and and when you just said something, you said not of God. You know what I'm saying? But you turn around, people say we're all God's creation. Are we?
I don't
There's
know.
different kinds of
I'm
people.
trying to figure that out. But you got some people whose soul, just the way you got some black people that's supposed to be of God directly. That's wicked. You got some white people that's not wicked. Their souls is not cold hearted. They not like them the rest of them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know why? Because not all of them are of God. The seed, those that evil seed that the Israelites in the Old Testament was supposed to wipe out and they didn't, they're still here. The bloodline is still here. The Nephilim bloodline
Well,
is
that's
still
why the
here.
bloodline is so important to them. And that's why infiltrating the bloodline is so important to them. Because the
Hmm.
information is passed through your bloodline. The information
Hmm.
passed through your DNA and your molecular structure. It's written in there. That's why every time you go to the hospital, they take blood from you. It's not only to test you to see if something is wrong. They're testing your molecular structure. They're looking to study those molecules in your blood because there's information being passed from generation to generation.
Yes.
If it's interrupted with another molecular structure, that information now becomes um, watered down. Now it's not
Hmm.
as potent as it would be because it's been mixed with another molecular structure and another molecular energy and memory. Because this is science. You got autistic children that can break down to you to the minuscule how a child is born and explain to you exactly what happens as if they were sitting right there watching it. And they
Right.
say they're autistic and something is wrong with them. Are they?
That you just hit on something else. That when somebody they call it, they say, "Oh, they've been touched," and it's like that might be a very accurate statement. They've been touched in a way that their brains cannot be affected by the things of this world like that, and so it's like all access to exactly where they want them, and they have a specific laser focus on that
They
thing.
are able to relay the program to us in layman's terms. But
Yes.
we all come here with that program. It is infiltrated and we are reprogrammed as soon as we get down here. By our parents, by our families, by school, by television, by music, all that shit reprograms us.
Why do you think, and I mean, this is rhetorical saying it to you, but, why do you think people feel the way that, like, when you're in school and all these regimented, structured things, why do you think we felt so bored, so tired, just, because it wasn't natural,
It's
the
not,
spirit one is something else.
if you
The
ever met a
spirit,
person that say they only got a fourth or fifth grade education and you see the outside way, out the box way of thinking that they have, that's
yeah,
brilliant
yeah.
because
And I
they have
mean, you got your
program.
you got your few that your Steve Jobs and all these types, but it's a lot more that you don't hear about. You know what I'm saying?
But that's why I never call nobody stupid. I say they do dumb shit, but I never call nobody stupid. It's just that they're programmed.
Right, right.
And some of us, but some of us is within us as God's children because we still have that program in us more than we are deprogrammed that won't allow us to fall into that and be comfortable with it.
And man, I'm telling you, since for a couple of months now, I haven't been using toothpaste. I just been like staying away from fluoride, just using toothpaste and peroxide, man. I mean,
Right.
baking soda and peroxide.
Me too.
Man, my pineal gland is just like it has been thudding. It's vibrating like when I go to sleep or just anytime. And it's definitely a change. Hold on, what's this? Oh, all right. We had a little something going on. Somebody got timed out.
Oh well, fuck him.
All right. But my pineal gland, and it's like I can't sleep right sometime, and like it just be thudding, like just I feel that pressure. So I'm like, okay, it's activating again. I'm definitely downloading, and that's why I'm like these lives and stuff. I'm just like I'm so many things. I'm just connecting again, and it's like, yo, I ain't felt like this since like 2012 for real.
Hmm. It's good. It feels good when you're connecting, especially when you get to have at least one person in your cipher that understands what it is that you're going through in its entirety. It's not a game. It's not a game. You actually shutting down your own superpowers when you don't connect to this frequency.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of that myself.
Oh, for sure. I got burnt out. Like I was on that train, and then I just stepped off or backslid, whatever you want to call it. But I just knew that when it's time, like even during that period, it's certain times. You get activated, and like right now, it's time to get it's another activation.
We
Because
activated after that Alabama shit.
Alabama.
When the kids started fighting with the guy on the boat, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was a huge activation tool right there. And so they had to
Mm,
come back with other things to shut that down now. So you see all these stuff coming, got us all sidetracked, separating again. It even was happened around the time of the peace movement when the gangs was trying to start some peace over there in Chicago. It was all at the same time, the same frequency,
yeah,
but they were always
and
able to infiltrate it though.
the way I can engage it with myself is my interest in, the goings on in the country, or around the world. Because for a long time, my interest just was zero. Like I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? And it's like now I can't not look at a lot of stuff and pay attention to it and just connect a bunch of dots now. That's how I know, yeah, it's time. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of other people feeling like this, man. It's like they have so much in their head, they want to say it. That's why I created this channel and called it Off My Chest. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just like it's just this is the stuff that I say on this channel. This is the stuff that I go to sleep with in my head, talking
Mm-hmm.
about, debating with
Well,
myself.
I've been
Trying,
talking since 2009, and I got a lot of people that respected me for it, but I also got a lot of people that had a lot of animosity towards me for it.
yeah,
And it
of
caused me
course.
to stop really talking as much as I used to. And when I stop talking like that, it really shuts me down. Like it shuts down my connection. You understand what I'm saying? So I have to
Yeah,
start talking more again, like
it
this.
feel bad, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because you set aside of yourself. Actually, probably the most important part of yourself you set aside. Like this is your mission program or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, you stepped off of it. And you feel like, oh man, I lost so much time. But if you really looking at time the way linear, then yeah. But we're not looking at it like that. We on a different kind of time, as we say.
Let me tell y'all how I know that God is so real. And when it's time for you, it's time for you. Because I came home from work one day and I was getting ready to do my normal routine, light a cigarette, roll me a joint. And I just sat there, O.M.C., for 45 minutes and I couldn't even speak. I couldn't even talk.
Wow.
And after that, all the information started coming to me. Like it was just fine. It's like they sat me down and said, look, sit the fuck down for a minute and shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was time. It get like that.
It was around the time that Michael Jackson passed.
Okay. All right.
And it was all these videos circulating about the industry here in New York, about all the back stuff that they was doing in the background. Everybody knows now about the rituals and all that stuff, but this was new for us here. So you had dudes on the corners selling these type of DVDs, breaking it all down and stuff like that. You can't even find that no more in New York.
No.
Mm-mm.
Huh. And
Polite,
and man, it's like
Polite was a
even
part.
back then,
Mhm.
nobody wanted to believe it. nobody, all the industry stuff, it's like I believed it. You know what I'm saying? It's like so many people needed to deny it. Like, no, it can't be real. No, this can't be the case. You know what I'm saying? But I'm
But
just like,
God,
nah, man.
little
Yeah,
clue.
they put it out because they want you to know, but it's
They had
there for real.
to tell
Like,
us.
it's
They
true.
had to tell us. Remember, I told you they have to tell us what they're doing.
Right.
So they had to release it. But it's out there. You think anybody cares? Nope, nobody cares. Yep,
Nope.
JR banned now.
Just because, and it said all them videos is shadow banned now, but it's still more out there though. It's still, I mean, yeah, some of the ones that they caught me like back in 2009, porn star Jr. Yeah, those been shadow banned because I've been looking for them because I wanted to reference them, but they gone. But it's other stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and some of you might can still find. You know what I mean? He said I went even
I
deeper
was
into research.
time with
Okay.
Bobby Emmett, Dr. Africa, damn, what is it? He was out of Chicago. He used to talk about our connection to the cosmos. Dr. Delbert Blair. Why you deleted Porn Star JR?
I didn't. Yo, my phone just tweaked like hella crazy. That's why I'm like, yo, what the hell? I
Unhide.
yo, my phone. It's like look what it's doing.
Oh, there you go.
You see
Oh,
that?
yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is this?
Oh shit! I gotta take this video, y'all. I'll be back. I gotta catch this. I'm really becoming a YouTuber at this point.
All right,
That.
yo, my phone tweaking for real. I don't know what's going on, but y'all see that? It's just doing it on its own. So hey, I didn't delete you, man. I didn't. It's not me, man. Yeah. All right. That's weird, man. That's just weird. Hey, Dro, y'all saw that. Y'all saw that with y'all own eyes. I wanted to show y'all that. That wasn't me, man. My phone was tweaking, just tweaking out. So, I don't know if something trying to mess with this broadcast, cause what we talking about or what? But that's never happened before. Y'all still hear me? Y'all still with me? All right, man. That's that. I've never seen that before, bro. Ever. All right. Well, must be doing something right. So now we get into the meat and the cornbread and all that. Israel, Hamas, Hezbollah, y'all know the same damn thing that's been going on since I don't know when. You change the names, change the peoples, same damn thing. All right. Uh, we got the press secretary, and I'm gonna start with this. The press secretary, what did she say? We're keeping an eye on every cent of that $6 billion. Hold on. Really? So if y'all keeping an eye on every dollar that y'all released to Iran that allowed them to fund this thing, then y'all knew exactly what they finna do. Y'all knew what purchases they were making to make these attacks, right? Y'all acting a fool up here. That's the first ding, ding, ding right there. If they said they are watching, which I know they're not really watching every dollar. Yeah, they were. They knew exactly what was finna happen. So that brings me to, because what I what I want to get into is not so much. I don't want to talk, touch on like the Palestinians and it's the propaganda, because once you've been alive for a while and you witnessed enough conflict and enough the way the news works, and they always say who they really work for. You see it now. Every single news channel, they normally competing against each other. Whenever something is happening in that region, they all sound the same exact way. You know, they bringing up Holocaust. They, you know, they say the same, and they say it in the same exact verbatim. It's like they got a script. Sean Hannity, everybody, every single news channel. You know, they stay there. They rape the children. They burn babies. They beheaded. And I'm like, you know, I go on a different social media site where I could find the most grotesque things, and not once did I see that. I did see civilians being shot. I did see Israeli soldiers. I seen, you know, the initial assault on the Israeli barracks. I seen the bodies. You know what I'm saying? I seen that. Didn't see no rapes, and I didn't see no babies being burned. However, when the sources cited of who told them this, and this is when I was watching when they was in New York, and you had the Palestinian community out there, and the lady was like, "Well, the IDF said it." Really? That's your only source? The IDF said it. So let me jog people's memories since I've been alive for a little bit. Let me jog some memories. Okay. How did this happen? You know, a lot of people didn't want us to go into World War I. We was isolationists. We just lended material support. The Lufthansa was allowed to be blown up to get us involved in World War I. We were warned that the Japanese were coming to Pearl Harbor. We ignored it, made sure our carriers was out in the water, and then the attack happened in order to get us into World War II. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the Gulf of Tonkin in Vietnam, which now we find out never happened. It was shooting at, you know, it was a false report to get us involved in Vietnam because somebody wanted war. When Saddam invaded Kuwait, they said Saddam was stabbing babies in incubators. Remember that? Then we find out that the person who did it was a daughter of a Kuwaiti prince and was instructed to put that story out in the news. And then they say, oh, he gassed the Kurds and this and this and that. Yeah, he gassed those Kurds long before. You know why? Because we were funding Saddam. And we didn't care a damn about those Kurds when they were getting gassed, but they paraded those pictures of those kids that he gassed when they wanted to justify a war. And we know it was about the oil. So, but y'all see where I'm going with this. It's always a pretense. 6 months prior to 9/11, Bush was warned. It was ignored. And then we got 20 years of a senseless war in in the Middle East that we still feeling the effects of. So when they come up and say, and this is Mossad now, Israeli intelligence. Some say they're probably more competent than the CIA. I think Mossad kind of helped them, you know, train the CIA when it was formulating, but you know, don't quote me on that. But they missed this. And then, you know, we released these funds to Iran and we're watching every single dollar, but somehow we didn't know that they was going to do this. And they launched this huge surprise attack at this music festival. And, you know, this festival was an Arab Israeli festival to promote more peace. There are groups in both of these camps, okay, that don't want peace. You know, it's not just Israel. You know, you got the Zionists and all that stuff on the Israeli side, but then you got groups on the Arab side as well that don't want that. It was Israelis and Arabs at that music festival, man. So, you know, maybe some Arabs got killed too in that attack. They weren't all Israeli. So that was that thing. So no, it was not an intelligence failure. It was exactly what was meant to happen. You don't have that much intelligence, and then, you know, and the images that I saw in these barracks, bro, them Israeli soldiers didn't have a chance, bro. I mean, the rounds went through them little barracks like Swiss cheese. A lot of them didn't even have weapons by them, bro. They were just caught out there. One dude was laid out in the street. Man. He had on some shorts and a tank top with his armor and helmet. You could tell he must have jumped off the toilet out. You know, they didn't have a chance, bro. They was called them. Those the only ones who didn't know what was going on. But everybody up top knew. And let's remember, Benjamin Netanyahu was falling out with his own party. He was losing support. So now, guess what? Everybody galvanized behind him. And then this is what they push. Every single news channel. But they're killing babies. They're beheading babies. I haven't seen that yet. I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but I ain't seen it. You know, maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. You know, maybe some people was raped. Maybe they weren't. I ain't see it. That's all I'm gonna say on that part. All right. But yeah, there are some groups who do not want peace. Oh, I see you, Dro. that false flag. You know, them two words is what got Alex Jones in trouble. You know, and you know that land, and this is what's bothering me because this land draws in everybody else, bro. I am so sick. You know, all the everybody, these dual citizens in these other countries, see all these Palestinians say, hey, they can use y'all help over there. You know, they had one dude on the news. He was a dual citizen. He left here and went over there and joined his Israeli boys. You know what I'm saying? To go fight. Why don't they all do that? Stop dragging everybody else in y'all mess, man. Y'all been fighting over this land in its own purpose. We all know how the British divided that place up. Granted it this way to the Arabs, to when it was advantageous for them, and then turned back around and gave it to the Israelis. The Israelis ran them off. Okay, I don't know if y'all seen the footage where the people who used to live in these houses are now on the other side being laughed at and taunted by Israelis. We took your land, haha. And then when they protest, they probably get shot by a sniper. All they talk about is, oh, the atrocities. But you know what? I've seen a lot of Palestinian babies being pulled out of rubble too. Little babies with legs missing, third-degree burns from white phosphorus, a banned substance by the UN that's being used. I'm not saying that either one of these sides are innocent. I'm on my side. I'm on America's side. I don't care about this conflict no more because it draws everybody in. They do all this. They shed a lot of blood, and then they stop and pull back, and they want to talk. And then they make some other agreement. The Arab countries who close their borders to the refugees, shame on you too, because you all are using them just as much as the other side uses them as a flashpoint. I'm so sick of hearing World War III this and all that. You know, hey, all y'all, Hezbollah, Hamas, PLO, the Intifada, anybody, IDF, go to the Valley of Megiddo. That's Armageddon. All right, go out there and y'all just have it out. Winner take all. End it. But when you listen to the media, all they're talking about is they're Nazis and this and that. It's like, bro, this ain't no damn Holocaust. Stop. All right. Less people died in our initial attack than 9/11. 6 million people died during the Holocaust. But this is what they do. Just like they use slavery to rile us up here. You see what I'm saying? This is about us this is not falling for the propaganda, Skip all this Judeo-Christian crap, no, forget that. Because nothing justifies the war crimes that are committed by both sides. I'm for the people who caught in the crossfire, who just want to live their lives. And they can't now. And y'all know that Magen what do they call it? Magen David, the hexagram that's up there. That used to be on some doors in Germany, and it was red. And it was a family called the Red Shields. Now they're called Rothschild. Went from Red Shields to Rothschild, and now the star has gone from red to blue. That is I hope my channel don't get struck for this or whatever, but that's a Rothschild fiefdom. Now we understand why the British did what they did. It was meant to set that place at odds for the next, up till now and beyond. Like I said, the devil doing this work. We can't get caught up in the propaganda, man. Because what they're doing is they need to justify their own war crimes and what they do over there. I had some videos I wanted to play. I want to see if this all oh wow, that's a whole lot going on right there. All right, I'm gonna try to do this. Hopefully this don't cut out. I'm gonna cut it off on this one because I need to play this. Okay, what we got? All right, there go my comments. Cool. Because it's getting. I'm just tired of it, bro. Ah, here it is. Now, this video is entitled,
Hey, everyone.
it's from a geopolitical economy report. Now, a lot of y'all probably already know this, but you know, and this is like real facts. He's doing this from UN, real UN doc, that what they put out. When it says Palestinians have a legal right to armed resistance against Israeli colonialism. So, and it says international law clearly shows that the Palestinian people have a legal right to armed struggle against Israeli colonialism, just as South Africans did against apartheid. Gaza suffers under an illegal Israeli blockade that even a former British prime minister recognized to be a prison camp. So I'm gonna play some of this, and then we go from there.
In response to the attacks in Israel-Palestine, I wanted to make a report that provides important context that is almost never mentioned in the mainstream corporate media, and yet we cannot understand this conflict without these basic facts. First of all, in Gaza, there are 2.3 million Palestinians living under an illegal Israeli blockade. Israel controls everything that enters and leaves Gaza. This is an open-air prison. Even the former British Prime Minister referred to this as an open-air prison. This has gone on for 16 years, and it's completely illegal. Secondly, according to international law, Palestinians have a legal right to armed resistance. Today I'm going to look through the letter of the law. I'm going to look at United Nations resolutions that show clearly that Palestinians have a right to armed resistance against Israeli colonialism.
And he's got the actual report up, and it's highlighted.
And 3, Israel is a colonial apartheid regime. It used to be controversial to say this, but it no longer is. Even mainstream Western human rights organizations like Amnesty International.
He got the document up from Amnesty International
and Human Rights Watch and UN bodies have acknowledged that Israel is committing a crime against humanity by carrying out a system of apartheid against the Palestinian people. These are all very important facts. I'm going to go through the evidence today from mainstream
Shout out Joe, free
this.
Palestine and apartheid.
This context is almost always omitted from mainstream corporate media coverage of Israel-Palestine, which always...
And all they talk about is, oh, well, they want to kill all the Jews. You know what? If they really wanted to just wipe them out, all the nations would have descended on them. Now, I know they had the 6-day war when they did that, but if they really wanted to wipe them out, they would have been launching every damn nuke and anything they could have at Israel. This Rothschild fiefdom. They ain't trying to, they always put they using the people as pawns, for their international game. This is an elitist game.
Portrays attacks by Palestinians as illegitimate, or the U.S. government claims the attacks are unprovoked, which is completely absurd. Now, because I'm doing this video on YouTube
and then, oh yeah, these horrible attacks, they're attacks. They're armed, okay? They attack the military base, they kill civilians, but every time that they do something, when the IDF bombs Gaza, don't innocents get killed in there too? But their lives are less value because the media said so, because America sides with Israel, because of what some Judeo-Christian tradition. It makes their lives less? No, it doesn't. Because 90% of those Ashkenazi ones, their skin's a little lighter than the Palestinians that they're killing. That's why their lives are less. Is that where we're going at? Is that why they were sterilizing the black women in Israel? Y'all remember that? Compulsory sterilization. The Sephardic and Hamitic Jews are getting mistreated. We're getting mistreated. I'm not sure how it is now, but this is a fact.
YouTube is notorious for censoring videos about Israel-Palestine that criticize Israeli apartheid. I do have to be a little careful with some of the language and the terms I use. Every time I do a video about Israel-Palestine, the YouTube algorithm always prevents people from seeing it, really pushes down The numbers, and of course, this very sensorial environment prevents me as a journalist from.
All right, let me fast forward a little bit here.
Theodor Herzl, the father of the modern political Zionist movement, which called for the creation of a Jewish state in Palestinian Arab territory, he wrote a letter to the
Theodor Herzl. I remember that name.
The father of the modern about colonialism. Israel as a state was born out of European colonialism. Theodor Herzl, the father of the modern political Zionist movement, which called for the creation of a Jewish state in Palestinian Arab territory, he wrote a letter to the infamous British colonialist Cecil Rhodes, who got rich stealing the natural resources of Africa. And in fact, he had an entire colony named after him, Rhodesia, which is modern day Zimbabwe. In this letter to Cecil Rhodes,
people who are not even native to this land are dividing it up and telling other people how to live on it. And this is what they're going for? Come on now.
Herzl said that his plan for creating an Israeli state was, quote, something colonial. He referred to it as a European-style colony, which is what it was. And then in 1917, the British Empire issued the Balfour Declaration, in which the British Empire officially endorsed the creation of a European-style colonial Jewish state in Palestinian territory. Again, this is at the peak of the British Empire. Israel has always been a colonial project. Then in 1948, militias from the Zionist movement, which sought to create an Israeli state, they ethnically cleansed hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, kicking them off their homelands in what is known as the Nakba. And today there are now millions of Palestinians in the diaspora who do not have the right to go back to their homeland.
Now, imagine that's you and you're on the other side and you're being taunted, looking at somebody, you know, just say, for instance, like somebody stole your bike and then you see the person that's riding your bike and you can't do nothing about it. And they riding your bike in your face. That's years of doing that. How much rage would you feel year after year? If you throw a rock over there, you get a missile back and you get to clean your children out from rubble. Of course, it's going to breed hate. Of course, they're going to commit atrocities and not care. Who wouldn't? Hell, the way black folks talk in this country about the reparations and all that, like they ready to tear everything up. Come on now.
This led to the creation of an entire United Nations agency called UNRWA, the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees. And today they have 6 million Palestinian refugees registered. Again, they're not able to return to their homeland because of Western-backed Israeli colonialism. Then in 1967, Israel occupied the West Bank, which is where still millions of Palestinians today live under an illegal apartheid regime of occupation, military occupation by Israeli forces. Israel also occupied Syria's sovereign territory of the Golan Heights, which remains illegally militarily occupied by Israel. And today we're going to be talking about Gaza. Israel also occupied the Gaza Strip near Egypt, and Israel has maintained a suffocating blockade of Gaza. In 2022, UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, published a report on the humanitarian impact of 15 years of the Israeli blockade of the Gaza Strip. And there are a lot.
And not only that, you know, they're cutting their water and power off. Who's really going to suffer? You know what I mean? And, you know, Hamas is just as bad, you know, when they try to stop theirs, you know, I know they're evacuating, but they also tend to hold them back too and use them as human shields too. So I'm not taking one side on it, like I said, but look at the conditions that push them to be that barbaric, to do something like that. Not justifying any of it. I feel bad for everybody caught in the middle.
Very inconvenient facts in here that I want to go through because, again,
and I just want to clear that up. What I'm trying to do is get people to look at both sides here, to not buy into the media propaganda where they're just all Israel, 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 you know, and shut down any other conversation. I'm tired of that.
Almost never mentioned in the mainstream corporate media. UNICEF notes that The Israeli blockade was imposed on Gaza in 2007. So now it has been 16 years of a blockade. And this is not just a land blockade. It is also a sea blockade and an air blockade. Israel controls everything that goes in and out of the territory. Gaza has no sovereignty. As UNICEF puts it, Israel has significantly exacerbated previous restrictions, limiting the number and specified categories of people and goods allowed in and out through the Israeli-controlled crossings. Israeli forces have largely restricted access to areas within 300 meters of the Gaza side of the perimeter fence with Israel. So they've surrounded Gaza with a massive fence. And whenever Palestinians protest inside Gaza,
I want to show y'all this. What does that headline say? Israel intentionally shot children and medics in Gaza protests. Happens all the time. But because they're the people of the Bible, well, you know what? Now that I think about it, they were ordered to kill men, women, and children in the Old Testament too. They were actually punished by God if they didn't kill them all. If one of them took one of the wives or something like that, you know, they were told to keep the virgins, take all the gold and everything, but kill everybody. Really?
Israeli snipers shoot them, including not only peaceful protesters, but also medics, also journalists. The United Nations investigated and found that Israel intentionally shot and in many cases killed Palestinian medics and journalists during massive protests over months in Gaza in 2018 as part of the Great March of Return. UNICEF also pointed out that Israeli forces restrict access off the Gaza coast, currently only allowing fishermen to access 50% of the fishing waters that were allocated to them under the Oslo Accord. So again,
all right, he got it here. So I'm gonna just read some of this here. Unemployment levels in Gaza among the highest in the world, 46.6% as of 2022. Compared with 34.8% in 2006. Let's see. 31% of households in Gaza have difficulties meeting essential education needs, such as tuition fees, books, due to lack of financial resources, you know. And if y'all can find a channel, you know, so y'all can see, I mean, we've seen it enough with the Iraq war and Afghanistan and stuff, but, you know, all the pictures they show, you know, you see the airstrikes from the air, you know, and the big buildings, explosions. Yeah, no. Find some videos where you see what it's looking like on the ground, the aftermath, when they're pulling these babies and stuff out of the rubble. You know, it ain't so glorious then. 1.3 million out of 2.1 million Palestinians in Gaza require food assistance. 50% of the electricity demand, rolling power cords average 11 hours per day. 78% of the piped water in Gaza is unfit for human consumption.
That is 60. If you
so
populated regions of the world, and yet they're treated like cattle. They're not treated like human beings. In fact, documents from Israel's defense ministry prove that Israel controlled the amount of food that can be imported into Gaza.
Look at that. This headline here. It said they use the calorie count. Okay. Use the calorie count, rationing their foods. You know why? So they can keep them weak and feeble. But these are the monsters that we're supposed to be afraid of? Really?
In order to, quote, put Palestinians on a diet to control their access to food. This was reported on a decade ago in the Guardian newspaper.
This is not of God, okay? Forget this ain't no Judeo-Christian. This is good old-fashioned Rothschild type stuff right here, okay? This is elitism. Remember, those that say they are Jews but are not, but of the synagogue of Satan. Remember that.
And they say very clearly, this is, the establishment British mouthpiece. They say, quote, the Israeli military made precise calculations of Gaza's daily calorie needs, according to files the defense ministry released. Israel also maintained a list of foods that were permitted and banned from Gaza. Israel calculated the calorie needs for Gaza's population so as.
All right, you already get the gist of that. I gotta get up out of his. Let's see here. Yes, genocide.
Resolution from 1980, which is resolution 35/35.
Hold on, let me go back a little bit.
That Palestinians in Gaza are living in an open air prison camp. Very clearly by the United Nations, there is no ambiguity. And this was stated very clearly in a United Nations General Assembly resolution from 1980, which is resolution 35/35. The resolution, quote, reaffirms the legitimacy of the struggle of peoples for independence, territorial integrity, national unity, and liberation from colonial and foreign domination and foreign occupation by all available means, including armed struggle. Armed struggle, they emphasize that. And specifically, they're discussing, quote, the continued violations of
the legitimacy of the struggle of peoples for independence, territorial integrity, national unity, and liberation from colonial and foreign domination and foreign occupation by all available means. Wow. So this is recognized by the UN. So it's not terrorism. This is armed struggle. That's what it is. Justified by the United Nations, the international community. So that's why the news works so hard to, well, these people, they're doing this and they're doing that, and the Jews have a right to live. Yeah, they got a right to live. Guess what? Palestinians got a right to live too. All life matters.
Rights of the people still under colonial and foreign domination, and in particular, they mention, quote, the denial to the Palestinian people of their inalienable national rights. So by mentioning the Palestinian people, they're making it.
We got inalienable rights here that we fight to defend, that people are trying to fight to defend right now as they're giving their resources to illegals. So they have a right to. Inalienable.
Very clear. Palestinians have a right to resist colonial domination, the Israeli domination and occupation, quote, by all available means, including armed struggle. Later on, the same resolution strongly condemns all governments which do not recognize the right to self-determination and independence of all peoples still under colonial and foreign domination, and specifically names the Palestinian people along with several peoples in Africa, because of course, this was a resolution also condemning apartheid in Africa, which I'll be speaking about in a moment. But it also, this UN General Assembly resolution, quote, condemns the expansionist activities of Israel in the Middle East, as well as the continuous bombing of civilian Arab and in particular Palestinian populations, and the destruction.
If I post the pictures, I can't even post them because I know my channel get taken down. But the gruesome, the real gruesome stuff, and they civilians too. I'm just saying.
Of their villages. This is a resolution that was passed in November 1980, and for decades Israel has continued bombing and blockading and occupying Palestinian territory, displacing Palestinians, bulldozing their homes, starving them. This has gone on for decades with no consequences because, of course, anytime there's a resolution in the UN Security Council, which actually has teeth that could be used to take action against the Israeli apartheid regime, well, the U.S. always uses its veto power in the Security Council, protecting Israel. So this is why.
Boom. There you go.
Despite the fact that international law clearly states that Israel is constantly violating international law on a daily basis, there are no consequences. And this is also why Palestinians have resorted to armed resistance, which they have a legal right to, according to international law, because they have exhausted all other means of resistance. Anytime they try a peaceful protest,
oh yeah, it is it's always a sacrifice. That land requires a lot of blood. You know what I mean? Every war is a sacrifice, man.
Saw what happened in 2018 in the Great March of Return, where hundreds of Palestinians were killed by Israeli snipers. where medics and journalists were intentionally shot by Israeli snipers. When they try to protest peacefully, that's Israel's response, is killing them. So naturally, they end up turning to armed struggle. And just as the Algerian people had a legal right to armed struggle against French colonialism during the Algerian War of Independence, just as the Indian people had a right to armed struggle against British colonialism, and there were attacks on the British Empire led by Indian revolutionaries like the leftist Bhagat Singh, a martyr who died for the cause of trying to free the Indian people from British colonialism. Just as the South African people had a legal right to armed resistance against Dutch colonialism and the...
All right, man. I'm gonna let the rest play out, but y'all get it now. Y'all got it. By these UN resolutions, international law, this is armed struggle, not terrorism. The first thing they do is they jump up and they make it a religious thing. This isn't religion. This isn't holy war. Yes, they have, they pray to their God, but that's what they try to do. And this is how they try to get people here to just immediately side with it. You know what I'm saying? Just go along with whatever. Like, oh yeah, well, God said no. This ain't about this. This have nothing to do with God. This is about oppression and fighting against it. And if anybody has, know something about that, hey, everybody knows a little something about oppression and fighting against it. He just referenced a whole lot of armed struggles. That's what this is. And it's always been that. Oh, I think I missed some. I come from, yeah. Oh, you from Bosnia, Dro. I was in that area back in 99. I got the Kosovo campaign medal, bro. We was helping the refugees and stuff, man. We brought supplies to the refugees when they was doing their, ethnic cleansing over there. So,
apartheid regime. So too, according to international law, do Palestinians have a legal right to armed resistance. This is exactly why so many leaders of the anti-apartheid struggle in South Africa have strongly supported Palestine and condemned Israel's treatment of Palestinians as apartheid. And this is back in 2014 when it was still more controversial then. I mean, it shouldn't be controversial. It should never have been controversial. But
all right, let me see.
They're humiliating.
All right. Let me see something here. Is there...
the Palestine Liberation Organization, the PLO, and Mandela said, quote, "We identify..."
Okay, he's talking about
South African apartheid regime, and the CIA played a key role in his arrest. In fact, the CIA gave intelligence to the South African apartheid regime, which was used in order to imprison him. So the U.S. played the key role in imprisoning Nelson Mandela. And why? Because one, Mandela refused to oppose armed struggle. He said that the people of South Africa, Black people, have a legal right to armed resistance against the racist apartheid regime. And despite being tortured and imprisoned for 27 years, he never condemned that legal right to armed resistance.
And they eventually turned Mandela into a puppet. You know what I'm saying? By the time they let him out, he was... What was he going to do? You know what I'm saying? He was old. But because he didn't come out and be their puppet, hey, they just kept him locked up. The games the devil play. The system, this was they, is that's your they.
Blockade of Gaza.
See what else we got here. Oh, this is from Amnesty International, February 1st, 2022. I'll just read it out. Israeli authorities must be held accountable for committing the crime of apartheid against Palestinians. Israel enforces a system of oppression and domination against the Palestinian people. This includes Palestinians living in Israel and the occupied Palestinian territories, as well as displaced refugees in other countries. Massive seizures of Palestinian land and property, unlawful killings, forcible transfer, drastic movement restrictions, and the denial of nationality and citizenship to Palestinians are all components of a system which amounts to apartheid under international law. How much more even needs to go, man?
Committing the seizures of Palestinian land, who immediately dropped the investigations in. Hey, everyone.
That's all that's all I wanted. I wanted y'all to hear that, So and I showed y'all these from Amnesty International, from the UN, the Security Council, whatever, and the resolutions that they wrote. According to international law, this is armed struggle, not terrorism, not a holy war. I always want to use the holy war and the religious side to get everybody riled up in their emotions so they can forget about stuff like this, so they can shut this kind of discussion down when they start bringing up the facts that's in black and white that we refuse as a nation. Shame on us, America, to uphold this international law. We shouldn't be in the UN anyway, but that's a different discussion. But hey, international law, they got a right, just like every other oppressed peoples. But they steeped in 2,000-year Talmudic tradition, what I'm saying, which is just Zionistic apartheid. Hey, of course they're gonna grow up thinking they're superior, and then you got the other side, they got their idea of superiority. When you got your sultans and your princes and everybody else, they scared of Iran because they're Shia. You know what I'm saying? You got your princes and everybody living these secular lives, spending all this money, not taking care of their people the right way. Got our protection, living nothing according to what their Quran say. But the people have to, though. But they can go fly in a jet and go to Bahrain somewhere. I saw y'all in Bahrain. Y'all wasn't too holy. I think the Saudi people would be real upset if they saw what y'all was doing in Bahrain, drinking alcohol and all that. But what was their reasoning? Oh, God's eyes don't see. They say Allah's eyes don't see Bahrain because it's so dark because of the sin there. So that's basically like their Vegas, their Sin City. Get y'all fake. Come on, bro. I don't, man. Oh wait, my bad. That's it, man. I ain't going no more, bro. I'm not going no more. Even I'm gonna end with this, man. Charleston White, he had an IG live. He said something that I said on some previous lives, about Ishmael and Isaac and Sarah and Abraham, how that whole thing came to be, brothers. But because of the lack of faith of a woman and her, her wanting to. He said they're going to keep doing these things as long as everybody keep allowing it and don't want to break this program matrix mindset, take action. Hey, they taking action according to international law. It's just that people need to deprogram their own damn matrix in their mind. The matrix going to do what the matrix do, porn star. The matrix, they doing what they supposed to do. I want us, not necessarily y'all, but anybody who haven't broke the programming, break that programming, because anytime, pay attention now, and I want y'all to just do this. Just listen to every news channel tonight or anytime when they're talking about this. I guarantee you they will use the same verbiage on every single channel. And that's how you know it's propaganda. It's meant to drill it into your head through repetition. But the only source they cite for this killing these babies and beheading babies is the IDF. Come on, man. Stop. Now, like I said, I went on this other social media site that begins with a T and ends with Graham. All right. You can see, it's all a lot of pages you can subscribe to. You get all the gory scenes and pictures and videos. Yeah, they shot civilians. Palestinians, they shot civilians. But hey, like I said, I'm not here to take sides. Both sides are wrong. So I'm on this side. I'm on my side. I'm on, if it ain't about the red, white, and blue, I'm worried about our issues here. All the people here who want to make a fuss and stuff. And hey, y'all go back over there and help fight then. America first when it comes to this. Hey, yeah, change stars of one. That's, hey, you got it right there. It's too much, man. We got our own stuff to deal with here. And this is just one more distraction, And I put a short up, and I said something about 2025, numerology that reduces to 9, the number of completion. 2025 possibly might be, when everything kicks off. No, I'm not predicting this, so don't say I predicted. I'm just saying according to that. So, and everybody's saying this is the year of skull and bones, 2 through 3. So hey, here we are. But see both sides. Don't just buy what they shove it down your throat. If they're repeating it too much, it's just propaganda. Oh yeah, okay, you with that? And man, like I said, I appreciate everybody who popped in, share this live, like it and all that. I'm not looking for I'm not looking for I know it's gonna get pushed down and all that. So shout out to Kenny Rogers, Dro the Mob, Kane Shin 222, NC. Shout out to Queen Lotus. I appreciate her coming on. Sharpshooter Judah, Dro the Mob, if I ain't say you before. Pornstar JR, 90s Baby Crazy University. My bad, man. If I forgot to shout you out when you first popped on. And that's it, man. Yo, free Palestine, free all oppressed peoples, man. We just want peace. We want it to stop. We want peace on our own damn streets. We want what's ours. Don't mind helping other people out, but you got to do America first. And I'm glad that the people, who was once crying for these migrants to be here because they felt self-righteous and they were duped into allowing this. All they needed was our consent. That's what I want to touch on with Queen Lotus. All they needed was our consent. Well, not mine, but, their consent. They protested for it. And now they got different signs. The same signs that they called racist back in Trump's term. America first. Now you know what it stands for. That's what it means. Welcome to the team, people. We'll get you a red hat around here somewhere. Because now you're starting to appreciate it when it's being snatched out from under you. That's why groups like the Oath Keepers and everybody were out there. Proud Boys. This is what the mission was about. But they tricked everybody into not supporting that. And you know that saying when they say, they came for this person, but I didn't help. And then, but they went for this and it had nothing to do with me, so I didn't help. And then when it came for me, there was no one else. So that y'all know what I'm saying. That saying, you know what I'm saying? When they came for me, there was no one to help because I didn't help anybody else. You see, that's what happened. Divided and conquered us, and now they're setting us up against each other again with this migrant situation. We can't let it happen, man. We gotta vote these people out. No more progressives. No more woke ideology. It don't work. Keep it in those damn books and study Marxism in class. It can't be. It can't be realized out here. Sorry. So, America first. That's not to say to the detriment of others, but this is where I live, so this is what I care about. And that's all I had to get off my chest, man. Y'all be smooth. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Sunday seemed like a good day to do this, so I might be doing another one Sunday. There's always stuff to fill my head up and, put it together for these lives. So, appreciate y'all's support. Make sure y'all like and share this, and I'm out.